was carrying a dagger. That when Saul came, I want to capture David, as he entered the city of Ramah, he collided with Samuel, and Saul began to prophesy. He doesn't know what entered him, because the man was a prince in charge of that city. And when Saul came, he collided with the investment of Samuel in Ramah, the neighbors. Saul said, let's go to Damascus and kill him. When he was checking to Damascus, there was a man called Ananias. That one was a prince of Damascus. He stayed and held Damascus strong. When Paul came close to the city, he collided with Jesus, and when he fell, that was the first time Saul called somebody Lord. Lord, how can you call somebody Lord and still be asking for introduction? Who are you? Lord, the only thing that can pull me down should be stronger than me. And when Jesus blinded his eyes, and Jesus said, probably he said, I'm in the territory of Ananias. Don't worry, I'm going to send you somebody. He went to the man that was in charge of the city. I said, Ananias, the man was having his morning devotion. He sat, was having devotion, and Jesus walked to him. How long do you have your morning devotion? And Jesus entered, came and said, son, can we do business together? Give me your meal for 7 days, and I will give you part of the city. And if you can be passionate and increase for more 7 days, I will give you the whole city. And he now said, there's a man I have blinded. I can open his eyes and tell him what he should do, but you go and open his eyes. And the guy was trying to protest because he was an intercessor. That guy, I love him. I said, no, don't worry. I've told him the things he is to suffer. You know, many of you think our guy was in our ministry today. He said ministry enjoyment. He said, I've told him the things he is to do what? That means the suffering part is part of the ministry. The things is to go through. I've told him. And then I came and told Saul and told him things, because Ananias was the man in charge of the territory. Many of us here, and I'm speaking to different persons, we may be possessed. This kind cannot go except by prayer and fasting. You may not be possessed, but your city is possessed. That kind cannot go until you become a prince. And to become a prince, it will not be on your bed. When you are competing with that man, you spend the money tonight, it will be on your knee. But when you are done making your knee turn like the knee of a camel. By the time you come outside, they will say, who is this guy? The only intro you tell them, you don't even need to tell them. They'll just tell themselves, this guy has been with Jesus. There's something I see on him. I heard of a woman that went on a 3 days fasting. She came on a meeting like this, 3 days fine, no food. When she was done, she went back home, and her neighbor saw her, began to run. The man said, fire for your head, fire for your head. Because woman came to a meeting like this for 3 days. As they were praying, she heard her voice. When she gathered, by the time they were done, she came to her compound. The witch in the compound began to run because there was something burning on her head. Something was burning. Cancer is holding your body. It's a demon. Don't keep quiet. Don't keep shut. Can we read Matthew chapter 17? Let's take verse 14. Manda brakas kebelvas. Manda brakatale brakotias. Yes. Yes. I want to show us how we can contend with powers. Go ahead. Yes. Take him to him. A certain man. Go ahead. Yes. 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 And he went. Yes. Yes.
And the child was cured from that very hour. Then came the disciples to Jesus.
Then came, now listen, then came the disciples to Jesus, yes, God,
Apart and said,
and they said,
why could not we cast him out?
why could we not cast this demon out?
And Jesus said unto them,
And Jesus said to them,
because of your unbelief.
because first of your what?
Unbelief.
If you will be able to cast out demons, you must believe in the ability of God to cast them out. You must believe in the powers He has deposited in you. You must believe where you are seated in God. A lot of us, we are seated in heavenly places and we are fighting from down here. You must have an understanding before you can confront them. But you are not fighting from their realm. You are fighting from the God realm. And when we fight from God realm, we don't lose. He said you must believe. Believe that I am in you. Believe I can do it, because belief and faith is not the same. Go ahead, sir.
For verily I say unto you,
Verily I say unto you,
if you have faith as a grain of mustard,
if you have faith, now you must also believe that when you command them to go, they have no option than to what? To obey. Thank you. Go ahead.
you shall say unto this mountain,
You will say, that's what I'm looking for. You will say, because when you are trying to confront demon, you don't just keep quiet. Sir, can you sit down? Either it's by your confession or by your confrontation. Lord, I bring this matter to you, or you confront them. Genesis 32 verse 25, verse 28. And the angel told Jacob, and as a man you have prevailed with God and with who? Jacob was not fighting with a demon. Jacob was fighting with an angel. One angel entered the camp of Israel and killed about how many thousand? How many thousand? More than 18,000 persons were killed one day. That was the stature of person Jacob held. Or when Jacob stood in the spirit, when the man came, Jacob discerned that this one carried what I'm looking for. Jacob began to wrestle, because we don't cast princes, we wrestle with them. Jacob began to wrestle, and while he was wrestling with him, the angel said to himself, if I don't touch this guy somewhere, he's going to win you. And Jacob held the angel, and while they wrestled, the angel touched Jacob at his thigh. And when Jacob was at his thigh, Jacob was telling him, my name is Jacob, and so I go suffer. He held the angel, I will not let you go. I cannot die like this. I knew my father Abraham. They were not as vagabond as I am. The guy held the angel. Say my name or you will not leave this place. If I break my leg, women, you know how women do. You will kill me here today. Even when they know they are collecting things, blow and everything, their sister will kill me. They are already dying, but I run away. So Jacob held the angel, held it strong. The angel within Jacob is still fighting. When the angel saw that Jacob will not allow him to go, and it is almost daytime, and he don't want one man to behold him, he said, okay, what is your name? Let's start from there, because your problem began from the name you began answering. That name has a connection with your past. Let's address it. And he told him his name. Okay, from today, your name is no longer called Jacob. Your name is Israel, because as a prince, that was when the angel told him who he was. As a prince, you have fought with God, and because you prevail, you will prevail with me. And the angel went, and when Esau was coming to meet Jacob, he wanted to come and deal with Jacob. When he came, he met a prince. The guy humbled himself. And you know, Esau had been in several things. When he came, he didn't meet Jacob, he met a prince, the prince of Israel. By the time Jacob stood and faced him, even with small fear in his chest, the guy said, my brother, we are brothers now, because in the rankings of things we are seeing, Jacob has ascended. There's a rank Jacob has entered. He's now a prince. Please, I beg you, without doing what? Without doing what? Switching them. Many of us here, as I try to round up, I want us to pray and pray warfare prayers. There's a young man, he was attending Usuka. This story was told by Bishop Ike Ubonu in the Alcen Crusade. Why a young man discovered God. He observed as a pattern in the family that nobody is progressing. Young men are not getting married. Young men are not getting married. They are being held bound. They are held sway by the devil. So the guy came back home and he was willing to at least pray, and he decided to go on a 7 days dry fasting. And he came to the house and asked the uncle, "Sir, what happened to us? Why are we like this?" The man refused to tell him. Then he told the man, "If you don't tell me, I will burn this house." Because obviously the house they were staying was a wretched house. So he was willing to set the house on fire so everybody would stay outside. The entire family is staying in one house. And the guy said to the uncle, told him that when our father was about to die, he locked himself in a room for about 14 days. And he died. When they opened the house, a vulture stepped out of the house. A vulture came out of the house, and that's how they buried him. Then the boy said, "Okay, that's what I'm looking for." The boy entered the room for 7 days, locked the room, and the third day the mother came and said, "You will die, you know that some people you are fasting, they'll be pitying you." There's one particular time I fasted for almost a year. My mother looked at my chest when I opened my shirt in the house. He said, "Maybe she killed Jesus Christ." So me, the one I'm fasting, they let me, I should continue. But for her, she did not kill Jesus, so she cannot fast like this. Hallelujah. The mother told him, "You will die. This guy is about to break free from something. Are you looking for comfort?" Do you know Jacob was running from Esau? The thing that he got pillow was a stone. A man that's running for his life can call anything comfort. And he prayed, went 4 days, 5th day, 6th day. On the 7th day, his eyes was open. The Lord took him to the company where he saw short demons, dwarf demons that are short. May you not see them in Jesus' name. Short demons, dwarf demon, dwarf. And he began to fight with them and killed all of them. Then he saw a very mighty wall that was up like this, and in between the wall he saw wedding gowns, he saw certificates, several things buried outside the wall. And he now saw a vulture sitting on the gate of the fence. That was the grandfather that died. He was the watcher. That man was a necromancer. He has died, but he was still maintaining sway over the territory. And the guy kept on praying, and the power of God came and conquered, broke the fence. Wedding gown came out, certificate came out, everything that was bound came out. The father was a reverend for several years. If you know the Anglican church, small, there's a person they call a canon, there's a person they call a venerable. Now that same day this guy broke free. That week they had a synod, like a meeting in the Church of Nigeria, Anglican church. They had a meeting and the bishop came, looked at the dad and made him a canon and made him the senior secretary. In the evening the bishop made him the venerable. That same day, that was where certificate that was buried inside the wall, they began to receive expired letters of employment. They have employed them, but the letter did not reach their hands. When people began to marry, that's how many came. The rest began building house, because one person sat on the fence, sat on the destiny of everybody. Everybody was there watching. And even though they have been praying, going to church and say, "Oh God, fight my battle," it was not enough, because that kind cannot go until the spirit sees sacrifice. There should be something that will drop on the altar. Sacrifice against sacrifice. The boy cannot just say, "That was fighting me, God, it wasn't enough." No, it don't pray like that, it will be sacrifice against sacrifice. Because the man that did what he did labored for 14 days to hold them bound. You want to get them free by eating food and sleeping on your bed. The guy also went and labored for 7 days until God stopped him. And things broke out. That story may be similar to you. That story may be similar to you. That story may be similar to you. In your family, things, there's a pattern. It's a particular pattern. Things go the way a particular pattern because of the presence of the spirit. And if you don't break free from that spirit, everybody will be held bound. One of the days, my elder brother had a vision. He saw me in his dream. I was fighting some demons, and while I was fighting with them, he came to assist me. He thought it was by muscle. By the time he came, they caught him. He fell. He said he saw me fighting with demons in his dream. I was fighting. He just said, my brother, fight. You want to come and help me? As he came, they just caught him. He fell down. That was the battle that had been happening since. A man was standing since he just came with big chest. You see on me, a thing was by chest or by muscle. It's not like that. There's a spiritual capacity you gather by doing a fast like this and praying this kind of way. Don't mind me, I've been asked to speak on warfare. I'm just trying to raise your eyes to see the powers that be. There are powers that be, and if you don't break free from them, you'll be held bound. If the Lord says you come to Ravisi and do ministry, the first thing I will look for is not here. The first thing I'm going to look for is not members. I'm going to look for the men in charge of the city and do business with them, or look for the prince and partner with them, or I contend with the prince until I become a prince. Please, my prophet. I don't know if you have been held bound, or your life has been held bound, or your family has been held bound, or you have been in captivity for several years. Nothing is working out for you. Things is not going the way they have planned. You have been held in captivity. Something is holding you strong. It is time to pray and get yourself loose from them and break free and break loose your powers. You break free and break loose from their powers. Open your mouth and pray. Oh God, I set myself free. I set myself loose. Are there men here to pray? Lift your voice. I set myself free. I cannot be bound. There are warfares in high places. There are things contending for your life. If you don't pray, they will hold you bound. But if there's a man to pray, I man kapakabra stetelia. Relepepes oprekatias. Don't mind that you are weak. Open your mouth and set yourself loose. The power from your father's house has held you bound. They say you shall not be free. What is the essence of this meeting? If you don't go back free, open your mouth and pray. Pray, pray. Shakayakayaka. Liyakayakaya. Ebrasafakataya. Powers that have been bound. Ebalima sabakata. Ebrasta. Open your mouth and pray. Edididididia. Ebaladididiatari. Ebrakapayata. Madelebrekapaya. Lideketikitikrakayatani. Radakapayatani. Eredekebraskapaya. Eritasobekateyas. I want to hear you pray. Ilanda kaparatiasaya. Interpretation braskapeletia. Elianda belemenotoni. Aibarada pakataya. Ebila sombre. Aimakapre as a prince. Can you contend as a prince? Can you wage war as a prince? Can you wage war against the powers? Oh my sister, pray. Wage war against the powers. Emana parianda kebelume. Can you wage war against the powers holding you bound? Oh dear brother, pray. Can you wage war against the powers holding you bound? Children, pray. Elamba kapakapakasaya. Edika pakapayatale. Esra sapakapalias. Jesus' name we are praying. Oh my God. Oh my God. Hey, look at me. Look at me, sister. One of the dimensions God help me with is the rod of judgment. A rod of judgment. And when that rod wants to proceed from the inside, it comes with something rise from the inside. I become angry from the inside. And when I wage war against powers, strong men, they have to bow in death. Why? Please hear me. I know I didn't check the time. There was no clock I was watching. Please, we are going to take 2 more prayers. Hear me. Do you know God cursed Cain and told Cain, you are going to die? Cain, you suffer. You be a vagabond. Cain, understand the power of words. Don't be the last person. Make sure you are the last person to speak in every matter. And when God was cursing Cain, Cain did not say, I'm sorry. Cain said, this thing you told me now is too much. Abba. And Jehovah said, I place a mark on you. God was placing a curse on Cain, but Cain still had mouth to contend for his destiny. And God said it is true and placed a mark on him. Reuben was carrying a mark, and Moses came to a platform and stood on a ram and said, let Reuben leave. But if there's a strong man in your family, he will not go down just by saying, Lord, take him away. You have to come from the realm of judgment. When you stand from that realm and you begin to proceed with utterance of judgment, God will pick your words and administer some things to him. And tonight might be the last night of some in your family. We are not going to leave this meeting until testimony proceeds. I did not leave my house. I was going to be here yesterday, but something held me. I told our uncle Manasseh, I said the devil will play. And please, in the next two prayer points, I want him to pray because I was delayed coming. Because I know something won't happen here. And the devil came to set this speaker on fire because he knows somebody is going to be loose now. Somebody is going to be free now. Somebody is going to be free now.